She arrived at the elite shooting range looking like someone who had taken the wrong bus stop. The place was filled with professionals, champions with custom gear, high-end scopes, and confidence that dripped from their every movement. When she stepped onto the gravel path with her old rifle and quiet steps, all eyes turned toward her. A few snickered. Others exchanged looks that said, "This will be entertaining." She ignored their judgment, but her heart beat fast. Not because she was scared of the challenge, but because this was the first time in years she'd picked up a rifle after losing someone she loved. One of the top shooters, a man known for his arrogance and unmatched aim, stepped forward with a smirk. "You sure you're in the right place?" he asked. She simply nodded. Her silence frustrated him. He thrived on belittling newcomers. "Well, don't worry," he added loudly for the crowd to hear. "We'll try not to laugh too hard." The group burst into laughter, and she kept walking toward her lane. Every step felt heavier, the memory of her father's voice echoing in her mind. He had taught her everything she knew about shooting: precision, patience, and humility. And after he passed, she promised herself she'd never shoot again. Yet today, something had brought her back. The first round of shooters took their positions. The sound of their rifles cracked through the air in sharp, controlled bursts. Their shots hit near-perfect marks, earning nods of approval from the judges. When it was her turn, the laughter returned. She placed her rifle down gently, not rushing, not reacting. She adjusted the sights with the familiarity of someone who hadn't forgotten a single lesson. Her hands didn't shake now, they settled into old muscle memory, guided by years of practice and her father's calm voice in her heart. As she took aim, the range quieted slightly. Not out of respect, but out of curiosity. There was something about her posture, measured, steady, confident in a way that didn't match her appearance. The arrogant shooter rolled his eyes, crossing his arms. "She won't hit the board," he muttered. But the moment she exhaled, the air around her seemed to shift. She focused not on the target, not on the people watching, but on the one thing she carried with her always: purpose. She gently pulled the trigger. The shot echoed, clean, sharp, and unmistakably powerful. For a split second, nothing happened. Then the target split down the center as if sliced by a blade. Gasps erupted around the range. The judges leaned in, squinting. The elite shooters stepped closer, speechless. And the man who mocked her felt the blood drain from his face. He had never, in all his years, seen a shot like that. The laughter that had filled the range just moments ago evaporated into stunned silence. She lowered her rifle and stepped back. She didn't smile. She didn't nod. She simply breathed, calm and steady, as if she had expected this outcome all along. The judges hurried to confirm what they were seeing. The shot was clean, precise, and impossibly accurate. "How did you do that?" one of them asked, unable to hide his shock. She looked up, her eyes reflecting a mix of sorrow and strength. "My father taught me," she said softly. "He said a true shooter doesn't aim with their hands, they aim with their heart." The arrogant shooter approached her, but for the first time, there was no mockery in his voice. Only awe. "You're better than any of us," he admitted quietly. She didn't respond. Instead, she walked past him, each step lifting the weight she had carried for so long. The range, once filled with judgmental eyes, now followed her with admiration and a new kind of respect, one she never asked for but earned in a single, unforgettable moment. As she reached the exit, one of the youngest shooters called out, "Will you teach us?" The question made her pause. She turned slightly, her eyes softening. "Maybe one day," she said. "But today, I just needed to remember who I was." And with that, she stepped into the sunlight, the warm breeze brushing her face. For the first time in years, she felt connected to her father again, not through grief, but through strength. What happened that day spread across shooting communities, inspiring countless people who doubted themselves. And the elite shooters who once laughed learned a lesson they would never forget: true skill doesn't come from fancy gear, expensive rifles, or loud confidence. It comes from resilience, humility, and a heart that refuses to give up, even when the world does. And that shot, the one that split the target in half, didn't just change their opinion of her. It changed their lives forever.